Howdy folks, and welcome back to 59 Mile Arc. Today we're going to do our third and final leg of our subscriber request, flying westward towards Vancouver. We started in the first leg in Kelowna. Secondly, we flew to Hope, and that's where we are right now. And our third leg, we're going to follow the Fraser River all the way to Vancouver. Now, real world weather is finally turned on because it's flyable. Our takeoff, though, where we are right now in Hope, clear skies, but there's a 15-knot crosswind according to the sim. And our destination at Vancouver, though, we have a 3-knot wind. Ooh, look at that flag going. We are going the wrong way. We should probably be on that other runway, given the flag is pointing that way. And the door's blowing open and stuff. That's hilarious. So I think we'll taxi down to take off the other way, so we take off into the wind. Anyway, so for this third leg, we're going to fly to Vancouver, and the weather there is a 3-knot wind coming from 360 degrees, so we're going to land on runway 30, visual landing. I went to my trusty PDF I have of every Canadian airport, cannot find any published instrument approaches. I even checked AirNav, and it said there are no published approaches for Vancouver, which surprises me because it's a large international airport. But it shouldn't surprise me because I know other large airports like Vegas, they land visually all the time without instruments. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to take the Turbo Aero. I decided I was going to take the 1900D originally, but the flight is just too short for that. And I want to follow the river, not fly very high, and get lots of good sightseeing. So we're in for about an hour and 10, hour and 20 minute flight time probably, which is a little longer for this aircraft than I want it to be, but too short to bring out the beach, I think. So anyway, that's how we're going to do this leg. We will have more sightseeing music during the sightseeing time, and I apologize if the previous leg or two has had some really bizarre background music, and that's just because I haven't had that much sightseeing time, so I've run out of my regular music. So I've been using these old synthesizer pieces from when I was a kid, like 15, 14 years old, back when synthesizer software and synthesizers were actually becoming affordable for the serious enthusiast. And I wrote a bunch of pieces as a dare because I was mocking synthesizer music, and that's what you were listening to. So I apologize if it feels terrible, but hey, we can all have some fun every once in a while. And it was like 30 years ago or something, so don't be too hard on me. I was a little kid. Anyway, that would also bring you to my last and final point, is that this video also we will have as much sightseeing as possible. So if you are not used to that editing style from me where we have very, very long sightseeing cuts, we'll be going back to my regular shorter cuts next time. But the subscribers' request was to have as much sightseeing as possible, and that's what we've been doing. So that's why we're doing it. I will cut out sightseeing to keep the video to less than an hour, though. So you're not going to see every tree and every wave of the river, because that would make a very long video, and I can't expect anybody to watch the video that's over an hour long. I know some of you would, and I probably would myself, but I don't want people to lose interest because my videos become 90 minutes or something. So anyway, there we go. I'm just enjoying the weather. Sunsetted at 6:30 a.m. in the sim, and we are at Hope Airpark or Aerodrome, and just looking around while I chat. I don't think I have anything else to say. I just invite you to watch the first two legs of this so you know what we're doing and why, and we're going to just take off here in a moment. So let me stop this camera and look at my lists. Yeah, we're just going to follow the Fraser River. We're going to be pretty much VFR. We are going to tune in an NDB just in case I take the wrong river or something, because it does split up here. And then we're going to land at runway 30 in Vancouver, the short runway, 7,300 feet. Should be pretty simple. The weather should cooperate. I do have the weather set to update every 15 minutes because I have had issues in the past where it doesn't update fast enough. So you look at the weather online and you start your flight expecting a change when you get to your destination, and it doesn't change, or it updates as you're like reaching your destination, and then all of a sudden the winds are opposite or something. So I do have a very quick update time. So when it does update probably during the sightseeing and everything stalls off for a couple seconds, I'll plan to edit that out of the video so you're not going to have to sit and watch for frozen sim while weather updates. Otherwise, yes, we're definitely taking off from the other direction, looking at that windsock, because the wind is coming from the left because it blows into the windsock and comes out the tail. And the stronger the wind, like those gusts, the longer the tail sticks out. So we're definitely going to taxi the other runway, so let's get everything else going here first, though. Clicking on this, remember, you can mouse wheel this arrow. Very few people seem to know that, so I bring it up every time. Mouse wheel that thing, hide that thing, get it out of there. Alright, weight and fuel. So this has to come down because it's meant for 4K monitor. Okay, we don't need to fill this thing up all the way, but we are going to go to like 137, though. There we go. And passengers, let's see. I am 203 pounds and 6'4", 6'3". All right, our passengers or our co-pilot is gonna be 180, and we're gonna bring the kids again. We're gonna bring the little guy and the older sister, much older sister. There you go, and they've got their stuff in the back because they're gonna go visit their long-lost cousin who won the lottery that they didn't know about. So there we go. We'll close that up. Parking brake. Actually, we're going to hide this silly thing first. All right, parking brake. I just flew this thing the other day. How could I not remember what my presets are? There we go. There's parking brake down there. Alrighty. Control to idle. I actually did that before I started recording. Battery on. Like so. Check the fuel gauges. Let's hide you for a moment. Fuel. Lots of fuel. Make sure our lights are on here. And why am I getting a text? Okay, let me turn the battery off. And we make sure trim is set to neutral. And we're going to use the trim wheel on our yoke, because that is way too far to spin manually. There we go. If you do that right, it's effortless to take off. All right, let's check and recharge the battery if we need to. How come I can't remember where that is? It's a flight computer thing. There you go. Battery recharge. Boom. Following this vapor lock, nothing to worry about right now. Auto switch. Fuel, yes. So that switches fuel and keep the wings balanced for us. Alright, let's hop outside and get this baggage door closed. So we need the mini back up again. Baggage door is that one. Alright, then we're going to come over here and we're going to close this thing. Whoops, that's the lock. I'm going to close it and latch it. That time it worked. Previous flight in this thing, we didn't get the door closed all the way. It was really kind of funny. Alright, also remove the chocks. They remove themselves. So at what point are they removing themselves, I wonder? When I close and latch the door, maybe? I should put chocks and then door in my checklist. I do that the right way. Oh, I did. I just read it wrong. Close baggage door, remove chocks. Then close the main door and latch, which we did. Okay. Let's see. What's my fuel preset? Here we go. Left tank. And then props forward. Throttle quarter. Alt air closed, and it is. Confirm the avionics are off. Battery on. We have to come back over here for that, because now it's hidden. Nav and rotation beacon on. Fuel pump on low. Mixture rich. Confirm fuel flow on left gauges. Here we go. Yell clear prop. Out the storm window and close it, because it gets loud and I always forget to close it. Start engine key, I think you flick it and let go in this one. And there we go. Confirm oil. And pressure and temp are rising. I could sit and look at those all day. They're right here. Pressure's up. Temp will rise. Alt switch. On. Where is that click spot? There we go. Make sure the annunciator lights are out, and they are. What does that say? Auxiliary fuel on. Okay. Throttles. 14 and 1500. Where are we at? We're at 1700. There we go, just like that. Suction between 4 and 5. It's at 4 and some change. Lean the mixture back to avoid spark plug fouling, but don't cut it out. There you go. All right, turn on all of our avionics now. There's a GPS, which we're not actually going to use today. That's already on, I guess. That's already on. This thing, I haven't been able to figure out why it won't turn on anymore. ADF, we're actually going to use the ADF. All right, come back down here. Fuel tank to right to make sure it stays running, and it does. Fuel tank left, make sure it stays running, and it does. Think the gyros, check the altimeter barometer, which you actually have to do today because we have real weather, finally. And what are we at? 3032. 3032. And let's zoom this thing way in. 301, 2, 3, 2. That's what I said, right? Okay, yes it is. Alrighty. Flight plan. It's going to be completely visual along the river, but we are going to aim for NDB 266, and I got to find the click spots. Where's the third? Oh, I found it. Nice. 266, and it says ADF right there, so it is on. Make sure it actually is on, and it is. What does that one do? Okay, that's the front number. I thought so. Alright, I could put the airport in here just so we can see it, but I'm not going to. We'll see it pop up when we get close enough, so I'm not worried about it. Alrighty, let's see here. No taxi lights in this thing, I guess. I think we can pop that back in then. Alright, let's taxi to the other side. Get our yoke back in, it's more fun. Let's taxi to the other side, and then we will turn around and take off into the wind, especially with 15 knot winds. So I'm just going to skedaddle. Actually, this looks kind of like a taxiway over here because it's the special grass that you'd use when you do WED. So let's use this as our taxiway. These are probably in real life, if it's an aerodrome, well, in Minnesota, the airparks, the houses go right up to the airpark. You know, it's a landing strip for houses, for neighborhood. But I did look on a map, or Google, or whatever you guys call it these days, and looks like there might not actually be houses here. You might actually have your houses off in the distance a little bit. So thought I'd bring that up just for fun. I did do some research. Anyway, my point being, I don't think we would be taxiing through houses right now. I think this is legit taxi area, but I've never been there. And even looking at Google Earth, you can be completely deceived based on what reality is. So anyway, we're just going to get out to the other end here, and I'll meet you there. Alright, right onto the center of the runway. Yeah, it's going to be a crosswind from the left. Look at that flag. That is okay though. We will be able to handle it. Let's straighten out. So we're stuck. This isn't part of a taxiway, so now the sim thinks we're on dirt, so now we're getting kind of stuck. That's okay though. There you go. Alright, set the parking brake, get the first set of flaps coming down. What do we have next? Before takeoff, confirm battery and alt are on, and they are. Fuel pump low, alt air to close, we never touched that. Props forward, mixture forward. Flaps 10 degrees, we just did. MIGs on both, and they are because we didn't do a run up, we skipped the run up. Landing lights can come on now, which I think are way. Well, that's Paitati, but we need that on anyway. Landing lights on, trim in the middle, confirm doors locked and latch this time, unlike a previous flight. Paitati on, heading bug. I think we can push it. There we go. That's just in case I screw something up with autopilot. Set autopilot. We are going to use autopilot a little bit, just so I can do a lot of sightseeing and not crash. So all we're going to do is we're going to just turn autopilot when we're in there. Autopilot on, heading on, and this is already set to heading. We'll hit the little Piper arrow so that we can set our hold our altitude. So autopilot, heading, Piper, coupler over here is off. As simple as it gets, but we'll do that later. I don't know where we're going to cruise at. Maybe we'll cruise at like 7,000 or 8,000 feet. I'm not sure. All right, here we go. We're just going to start the clock now, which if the flight is really longer than an hour, It's going to go back to 0 at an hour anyway. That's a simulator thing, not an airplane thing. Otherwise, we are all set. We're going to lift off at 70 knots in the turbo. Geared up, flaps up, climb at 97. And we'll worry about that when we get there. So here we go. Wind this thing up. A little turbo sound will hiss at you, and the little turbo light will come on. So, is the weather updating? Yes, it is, because now I set the weather so frequent. That's going to always update. All right, what did I say? 75, 70, 75, whatever. We're at 70. Rotate this thing. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Whoa, look at that crosswind. Okay. Wow. My yoke is all the way to the right. We're not. Oh my god. Okay, this is amazing. All right. Wow, my yoke is all the way to the right. Okay, we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it because I want to get around this mountain anyway. My yoke is still all the way to the right. What's going on? We're not having a positive rate either. All right, let's bring back the turbo thing. We have a problem. My yoke is all the way right, and it's, well, now it's coming back. Okay, now we have control. That was something weird in the sim, because now I have control of the aircraft. No, I don't. Yes, I do. I wonder if that's like the Crossman component and the model doesn't know what to do, maybe? I don't know. I just know that gear's up, flaps are up. We're climbing at 90-ish. We want to climb at 97, I think I wrote down. Yeah. I'm just trying to control this thing. Oh my gosh, this is weird. This wind is terrible. Just like it's supposed to be. We'll see if it updates, though, by the time we get to Vancouver, because like I said, in Vancouver, it's only a 3-knot wind. So we will see how accurate that is when we get there. Wow, this is very difficult to control. Yeah, very exciting. I haven't had a windy flight in a long, long time. This is nice. All right, we're at 91. We should be going a little faster to climb, but I'm just fighting wind. All right, let's see. Checklist. Gear up, flaps up, fuel pump off, landing lights off. We're going to wait a little bit on both of those. Oh yeah, see, then the mountains just come down, and then boom, river. All right, I'm not ready for autopilot yet, but I want to do some sightseeing immediately. So I am actually going to engage autopilot. Well, shoot. Not really. I don't want to yet. This is too much fun. Okay, now we're at 95 knots. Let's try to do some sightseeing. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. Let's get a screenshot of that. Alright. Actually a little bit lower here so I can get my title in there if I choose this. I probably won't, but... Okay, this is too hard to do outside with all this crazy wind. What are we at? We're at 2,000 feet. We'll go up a little bit more. Not much more, though. Let's try to look around again. This is very difficult. Wow, this is awesome, though. That looks cool. Some more farms. Well, there's not much else to say. Eventually, I will turn off landing lights and the fuel pump. And I'll set autopilot up, but not quite yet. I'm going to push my heading bug, though, in case I have an urge. So otherwise, we're going to try to do some sightseeing now. I don't have much to say. Not much that I need to say. I do have very, very detailed flights with this plane if you just search the channel where I talk about this thing a lot. But not today. The request was to take the river and do some sightseeing, so that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to do as much as I can with the airplane behaving the way it is. And I think I'll cut back with a voiceover once we actually engage autopilot, which might be sooner rather than later. So I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, we're gonna do autopilot. This is ridiculous. It was fun for a couple minutes. For 5 minutes and 50 seconds. But it's not fun now. So, push the heading bug thing. And then autopilot on, heading on. And I want to hold it. What is our alt? 43. I want to be a little higher, don't I? Let's do 4,500. I was gonna go up to 7 grand, but these mountains are lower than I thought. So we'll just do 4,500. I'm gonna hit that Piper logo as soon as it gets there, which is about now. There we go. I am hands-free. All I'm gonna do is tweak this heading bug a little bit as I need to accommodate the valley. Otherwise, we are hands-free. I think we can finally now turn off our landing lights and our fuel pump. And let's see, we want to cruise at 23 on the manifold pressure and 2200 on the RPMs. So there's 23 on the manifold pressure and low on the RPMs, 22. There we go. Now we are cruising. And just sightsee until we get our destination airport information. I am going to check weather and force it to update. If it's not really 3 knots like it is in real life for that wind, I'm going to update it to make it so. Because I'm not landing in this. It's not going to work. I will see you, well, in quite a while this time. Enjoy the sightseeing. I apologize now for the music, even before I know what I'm going to choose. I'll catch you in a little bit. Just like that, we've come out of the mountains, almost out of the woods, and it's time to land. There's the airport right in front of us. We're pretty high, but that's okay because I was waiting for this ADF or NDB to kick in, and it never did. So I don't know what's going on. Nothing is picked up here. My ADF is tuned correctly and turned on there. I messed with all this stuff. At least I assume that's my ADF card, right? Because there's that, VOR. Yeah, this should be my ADF card. Not sure why it's not working. Anyway, it is time to do something else with this plane, like land and come down very quickly. I did check the weather. The weather did update. Let's go autopilot. There we go. Let's bring back throttles here. Let's turn on our fuel pump and landing lights now since we're so close. And we're going to turn left because our runway... Oh, it's mad at me that my throttle's all the way back. It does not like when your throttles are all the way back. The runway we're going to land on... I don't even see from this angle. I know it's there. I think. We might have to circle land. You know what? It should be model. Why wouldn't it be model? This is a major airport. I do not see our run... Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's take out our binoculars. Runway 30, that little short one right there. Okay, we're going to swing out around the suburbs so we can come down. And then we'll turn back in. So, let's get our landing barometer. 3025. 3025. 13 feet above sea level. I think I can do this will not crash. 3025, close enough. Can't really see it. There we go. But let's see. We are going to where to go? Behind the pillar. We're gonna land over there, runway 30, completely visually. Let's do props forward now. Let's have a few looks outside though before we drop gear and flaps. It was such a pretty sight. I'm sorry the visibility was only 19 miles, but I wanted real world weather. So that's what we got. Alright. Are we able to turn on the final? It's going to be a long, steep final. Not quite. Runway's still over there. Alrighty. But we're going to just keep coming down steeply. Looking around a little bit more. Let's pull up a little. I better check my speed. Yeah, see, that's a problem when you're outside flying. Because you do things like you go too slow. There we go. Let's look outside a little bit more while I can. While we gain speed. There we go, that's better. Very nice looking up to the ocean. What I assume are the suburbs of Vancouver. And there is our runway. Alrighty. Enjoy the scenery now because it is time to land. Yeah, we got it. We gotta change all this. Let's actually land the plane and fly. So, approach speed 110. Fuel pump on, we did. Landing lights on, 100 knots first flaps, 85 second flap, touchdown, third flap's at 75. And is that... Oh, we don't have Pappy for this runway. Or maybe we do, just I can't see it yet. Okay, as much as I would love to look around, we need to land the plane, like usual. We do have some Pappy coming in. Okay, good. But, we'll try to look a little bit as we do this. So, props forward, throttles back, first, or gear down and first set of flaps down so it doesn't get mad at me. And then we're going to do flaps at 85 and 40. So let's say about 100 for now so we can get over these suburbs without taking too long. Oh, a little fast for our flaps. Let's slow down a little bit more. Which means we're going to pitch up. Pitch for speed, throttle for descent rates. So throttles back to descend more quickly, pitching up to slow down just a tad, and so far so good. Easier said than done. We're going to do our very last look outside. Oh my gosh, this is a bad idea. It's going to throw us off so much. Looking around, look at all those nice shadows in the suburbs. It's been a long time since I've been in a big city like this. Killing my frame rate just a little bit. Not bad. We're still like... Oh, no, we're pretty low, but that's okay. We'll pretend it's fine. Nice airport. Wow. Okay. See, this is what happens when you sightsee. Well, and look how slow we are. Okay, we're done sightseeing. We're going to land the plane. And if you want to sightsee, just replay that little section of the video over and over and over until you see what you want to see, because we are going to land the plane. So nice. All right. We got 3 red, so let's a little more throttle to pitch us up. a little bit, or not pitch us up, but to stop descending so much. Number 4 red, so we got to really level off here. Yeah, keep our speed about where it's at. We'll slow down when we get to this river, probably. Very nice. Ooh, I like those mountains in the background. That was awesome. Hey, I didn't crash. Okay, good. Alright, here we go. We can do this. Gears down, right? Yes, gears down. Landing lights are on. Throttles. Fuel pump is on low. Approach speed is good. First set of flaps out. We're getting blown to the left, as I would expect to be. A little bit of crosswind. So if I want to do a proper crosswind landing, and the wind is coming from the right, I want to do a firm landing. I don't want to grease it. I want to have a firm touchdown. Right main down first. And left rudder. We'll see if I can do any of that. Okay, let's slow down now. And second set of flaps out. Now we really feel the crosswind. Well, not. Yeah, let's get some more throttle back in there. Third set of flaps, and the weather's going to update right when we land. Awesome. Right here is our touchdown speed, so let's not slow down that much. Aim for the numbers. Oh, that is a crosswind landing. Okay, so right wing down, left rudder. Aim for those numbers, although the runway is way long enough. Let's see if I can do crosswind landing. The only time I've done a great crosswind landing is in the Eclipse. Let's see if I can do it in this. Let's speed up a little bit. Holy cow. Alright, here we go. Throttle's at idle in this. Okay, there's... Right, ready. We can do this. We can do this. Let's take our time. We're not in a hurry. Alright, here we go. We're going to do right wing, left rudder, flare a little bit, and too much. Let's try again since we have plenty of runway. I want to get this right. Right wing, left rudder. Boom. Well, a little firmer than you should have been, but that's okay. Got the other parts right. Never left to center. That's my trademark. I don't even try anymore to center. Alright, let's slow down. Let's see. I don't know where we are. I don't know the airport at all. Let's see. Let's just do a taxi view because that's fun. Brakes a little bit of braking. Whoa, that's a lot of braking. Let's pull out of here and then we'll see where we are. I do find crosswind landings in this thing extremely difficult. It's not just me. People who know the plane in real life complain about on the forums all the time that crosswind landings in this plane are very unrealistic. So I'm just glad we landed somewhat reasonably realistically. Let's see. Okay, this is where the jets go. So let's go past the stop line here and we will have a look at the airport. So let's hit the brakes a little bit more right there. Come in and set the parking brake. Where did my mouse go? 43-minute flight time. That was way shorter than I thought it was going to be. Nice. Okay. Landing lights can come off now. What do we have on my checklist once you land? Stop clock, landing lights, anti-collision can come off now. It says here. This is that one. Flaps up, yes. Fuel pump off. Okay. And pitot heat off, which is off. And land. Oh, I did the wrong one. Landing lights off. Okay. So now I'm going to look around this airport for a minute. Well, let's not stall. I'm going to look around the airport for a minute and see where we're going. All right. I'm looking around the airport, and as I was zooming around, looking for a place to park, the weather cleared up. That's okay. We're going to park over here. There's those hangars over there, and we are straight ahead. So we're just going to turn right and taxi over there. So let's take the parking brake off and throttles forward, and we'll head down the taxiway, and it's going to be about 5 minutes, and I'll catch you when we get closer to those hangars. Alright, I thought I might as well include you in some of the taxi, because that is part of the simulation, I guess. Might as well. Bring you along for part of it. We're almost there anyway. Just looking back at the main hangars and trying to taxi backwards is very difficult. Like I've said before, I can do an RC car and stuff backwards, but I can't taxi backwards in a flight simulator. Very strange. Anyway, now we're lined up. Alright, I think I better swing around because our hangar is coming up here very soon. Just checking out the airport again as we arrive at our destination or our parking area. Oh, we're not going to park by the Cirrus. We're going to park over here. Oh, can we get into that big hangar? I don't think we can get into that big hangar from here. We have to go around. I don't want to do any off-roading. Oh, there's even more hangars over there. I didn't even see that from the air. Wow. Should have gone way over there. That would have been fun. I would add a couple more minutes. We're just going to break in from this blue hangar. That was my original plan. Anyway, kind of nice that the sky's cleared up. But it would have been nice in the middle of the flight if the sky's cleared up. So let's slow down here. Get the brake going. Whoa. Why is it braking so hard in this one? It just depends on the aircraft. Some of them won't even stop with normal braking. Other aircraft like this slam on their brakes. So anyway, here we go. Let's slow down. Oof, terrible. All right, slow down. And set the parking brake. And I was wondering what the OAT said. Where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There we go. OAT, outside air temperature. Ooh, 46 degrees in Vancouver. You know what? It's warmer in Minneapolis right now. Finally. It's like 60 right now. Alrighty, what do we need to do to shut this thing down so people can get out? Parking brake set. Avionics can come off. That includes this thing. And that. And that. And that's ready off. And that's off. Oh, I don't think I mentioned that. No, I did, right? The ADF never kicked in. Yeah, I mentioned that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Alright. The CARE 85 TS0 is off. Come over here. Throttles to idle. They are mixture cut off. That'll kill everything. Doesn't say anything about bringing props back, so let's just leave them where they are. Megs to off, which is that way. Put that back in. Remaining lights can come off. That'd be that one and that one. Alt to off. That'll be this. Battery to off. That'll be that. Fuel tank selector off. Open the doors, including that one. And that latch. And that latch. And down to open the door, right? Or is it up to open the door? This depends on the day. Down to open the door. There we go. Everybody out. Let's hop outside. Get that baggage door open. Oh, we're inside a building. Get the baggage door open. If I can find the menu. And get the chocks out. There we go. And welcome to Vancouver. That concludes the third of our 3 legs of our subscriber request. A lot of sightseeing, a lot more sightseeing than normal, which means a lot more strange music than normal, but I hope that was okay for everybody. Remember, if you have a request, leave it in the comments below. I bump requests up above my other flights I have on my whiteboard. But otherwise, we got some fun stuff coming up. I'm going to try to find some snow so we can land on skis for the first time ever. I've never landed on skis in a flight simulator, so I'm looking for that. And we got some more island hopping coming up and a whole bunch of stuff. So until then, I'll catch you on the next one.